Jimmy J Smooth live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do. I was just doing a video on Quincy Jones. He was awarded $9.4 million in a settlement against the state. I mean, the estate of Michael Jackson. Now, looking at this case, I remember Willie D talking about it on his YouTube page. Shout out to brother Willie D. And y'all go, everybody go subscribe to Willie D. He made some very good points, and all 99% of, or I should say 98% of the shit he said, I was agreed with wholeheartedly. But here's my conjecture. My conjecture on this situation is, I'm with Willie D on this one. He had every right to ask for the royalties to be paid, because he said he was owed $30 million, and he started. I think he lowered it to like nine, maybe let's just say $10 million. And if push come to a shove, if you look at the facts, Quincy Jones was a big reason why Thriller was successful, and he put his own money behind Thriller. So the fact that he put up $700,000 in the record labels, the producers, and Michael Jackson himself became multi-millionaires behind this classic hit says a lot about it. And to be honest with you, I think Quincy Jones was being nice asking for just $10 million. But he did say that it wasn't about the money, and he said he never had no ill will towards Michael Jackson. Now, this is a man that invested in Michael Jackson's dream of becoming the biggest pop star in history. He was a big reason why he had the best of the best engineers, and Bill Sweeten. You know, Bill Sweeten is still alive. He had the best of best musician. Greg Philliganes, John Williams, the late Jeff Porcaro, had some of the best songwriters. The late Rod Temperton, Paul McCartney. I mean, he had the best of the best arrangement, the best of the best producers. He had pretty much the best of the best studio instrumentalists, and best of the best everything. You know, and even Bill Sweeten got a piece of the Dangerous album, you know, because Bill Sweeten worked with Michael Jackson on This Is It also. So he worked with him for 2 decades, but he introduced Quincy Jones, arguably, they're hands down the best producer in music history. You don't get 28, 29 Grammys and 79 Grammy nominations, the most in history, most nominations by itself in history. Only one man has more Grammys than Quincy Jones, and that guy is a classical musician, and I can't even pronounce the dude's name, and they don't even nominate Grammys for classical music anymore. He's put out a crap load of producers out there. Glenn Ballard, who worked with Alanis Morissette. Saida Garrett, who worked with, who was one of the arrangers for Dreamgirls, for the music on Dreamgirls. Saida Garrett. I can go down all line. Ian Prince, who co-wrote the song with Jesse Powell, Constantly, that was a big hit for Immature back in the 90s. But I say all that to say this. I looked at the comment section of Willie D, and there was a lot of haters on that, talking about he's a he just wanted a money grab, he just is a vulture, and motherfucker, how the fuck is he just wanted some money, and he only asked for $10 million. He was entitled to more than that. So Quincy Jones was being fucking nice, but you got hating ass motherfuckers in the comment section that don't know shit about business, that don't know shit about the music business, who's just a complete dumbass. And I look at motherfuckers and they say, well, he shouldn't be eating off the estate of Michael Jackson. But you got to think about it. It's people. The Jackson family does not really control the estate. It's the attorneys of Michael Jackson is controlling the estate of Michael Jackson. And they're fucking up in the game. So don't point the finger at them motherfuckers. Don't point the finger at Quincy Jones for just getting his money, because he's entitled to this shit. Without Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson working together, you don't have Off the Wall, Thriller, or Fucking Bad. Or the E.T. soundtrack. You don't have any of that shit. You know, Michael Jackson knew he had the best producer in the game. Quincy Jones knew he had the best singer in the game. So you couldn't have one without the other. You know. Now, by the time Michael Jackson introduced himself to Quincy Jones, or Quincy Jones introduced himself to Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones had already had 9 Grammys to his credit. And there wasn't too many guys at that particular time that had pretty much over 10 Grammys. You know, Stevie Wonder, if I'm not mistaken, might have had quite a few because he was nominated for Album of the Year multiple times in the 70s. But it wasn't a lot of people had over 10 Grammys. And, you know, at the time that Quincy Jones met Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson was an important piece Quincy Jones was an important piece to Michael Jackson's career. And taking away Quincy Jones is just like taking away, I think the guy's name, Brian Alexander Morgan, and for SWV. That's just like taking away Jermaine Dupri from Escape. That's just like taking away Babyface from Tony Braxton. That's just like taking away Burt Bacharach and Carol Singer from Dionne Warwick. You know, that's just like taking away Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis from New Edition or something like that. I mean, it and the list goes on. And you in the comment section complaining about Quincy Jones wanting his money? The fuck out of here, you stupid ass motherfuckers. I mean, let's just keep it 1,010. Let's keep it $110. You know, that's just like taking away Glenn Ballard from Alanis Morissette's biggest hits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. We gotta make common sense, goddammit. You know. But it's some stupid ass people out here. So Quincy Jones did every right in the world to ask for that shit. They're just like taking away Dr. Dre from Eminem. Even though Eminem was successful without Dr. Dre, and some of the people I mentioned was successful without those producers. You know what I'm saying? Though, you know, the people I mentioned, the biggest of their success, including Tony Braxton, came from people like Babyface and Burt Bacharach to Dionne Warwick. You know, she had big hits with Isaac Hayes and Deja Vu, but she didn't have nowhere near the consistent success that she had with Burt Bacharach and Carol Singer. But my point is, we gotta look at the shit for what it is. You may not like Quincy Jones. A lot of you guys were talking about what Tupac, and I'm not even finna get into that shit. I'm not even finna get on that MK Ultra Bilderberg's ass bullshit ass argument that y'all niggas listen to, that Alex Jones bullshit y'all listen to. You know, cause that shit is so easily debunked. But the point is, give the man credit for the work he's done, man, and let the man get his money, man, without y'all saying something. Cause if you produced the album that took you damn near a year to make, if I'm not mistaken, Thriller took damn near 12, 13, 14 months to make. And they had to go through thousands of songs to get to 9 songs that made the cut, because there's so much shit that goes to a fucking album you motherfuckers don't realize. You gotta get the engineering right. You gotta get the sounding right. You gotta get approval from the fucking in today's music industry, you gotta get approval from the parental advisory, whoever runs that shit. You got to get approval from the record company. Then you got to go to the parental advisory people, the people that run that shit. I'm not 1,000% sure on that, but I know there's some people that run the parental advisory. Anybody who's done music, but you got to go to the record company to get approval. Because if the record company says hell no, then you got to go back in the studio and make some. And go through a shitload of songs. So it took a long goddamn time to get this album situated. And you want to talk that shit, talking about, well, he's just trying to get some money. Of course he's trying to get some goddamn money. He's entitled to the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It just kills me to see people, and half of them is either probably Negroes or just internet trolls. But if you're a Negro complaining about Quincy Jones getting something that's rightfully his, just jump off a damn a 5-foot story building talking that dumb shit. So man, that's pretty much my rant for today. You know what I'm saying? That was just one of those situations, but it is what it is. It's just one of them situations that I looked at it and I'm like, what the fuck is these people talking about? They don't have no clue of what these people go through just to make a hit, just to make a big album, and to get album units or album sales. You know, so it is what it is. Once again, it's your boy, live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do.